Bobby Moore and Sir Jeff Hurst, the Trevor Brooking and Billy Bonds, Paolo Di Canio, West Ham United. We celebrate our victories, we stick together in defeat. We're proud of our history, West Ham United, more than just a podcast, more than just a podcast.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is More Than Just a Podcast.
Oh, just far too excitable. Podcast.
It's the end of the season. It is it's season 13 and it's episode 58. Do you know what? We've done I added it up the other day, we've done over 500 podcasts. 500, John. I find the exact number.
And when
over
it
the
comes
last
down
13
to it,
seasons.
there's only the two of us here for the minute.
There is only two of us. John, where are you? What are you doing?
I'm at home talking to yous.
And at the moment, it's just the two of us. Len could join us. He's just doing some errands for his mum, and he's just been busy in the studio. But he could join us, might not. Right, little keep your anticipation going. Nigel will join us, but he's stuck on the M25 at Waltham Abbey in Gridlock. So he might join us at the end of this podcast. If not, he will definitely join us for the next episode for question time. So you'll hear his dulcet tones before the end of the season. This is the end of the season. We're about to enjoy a little bit of a break from the podcast. So we make this podcast gold, John.
Well, absolutely. It's heading that way.
Yeah, so we've got one game to talk about, our last game of the season. And then we have a little bit of a tale there, a little bit of a news section on some transfer and some manager news and some West Ham kit news, and of course some world champion boxing news as well. Did you watch the fight, by the way?
I did, yeah.
The West Ham fan who took the record from the other West Ham fan.
Well, you say that.
Are you saying Lennox Lewis is not a West Ham fan?
I'm not sure Usyk was. Didn't he do all those pictures? Didn't he just do a promotion at Upton Park or something?
No, what he did was, it was Yarmolenko, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yarmolenko, he's a big mate of Yarmolenko, but he did come to see a watch game. He did say, "Come on, you Irons." He did wear the thing. So I don't know if he's still a West Ham fan, but it was a good story. And
well, you liked it because you posted it absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, got a few hundred thousand hits, you know. And it was a good fight, wasn't it?
Well,
am I allowed to say I wanted Tyson Fury to lose? Am I allowed to say that?
You can say what you like.
I don't know. There's something I don't like about Tyson Fury, and it's not his ethnic background. It's not because he's a traveller or anything like that. Well, that he's a traveller, etc.
Oh,
I just
dear.
don't. I find him very arrogant, and I don't know. And his dad. Don't get me started on his dad. But anyway,
I wouldn't start on his dad if I was you.
I definitely won't start on his dad. Anyway, it's not a boxing podcast. It is a football podcast.
It was a good fight.
We're here to talk about football. We had our last game against Manchester City. We were kingmakers, John. We were the kingmakers. We were there to make...
Well, the Arsenal fans thought so for a minute, didn't they?
I know. I mean, I had so many memes going, and we just had so much fun with Arsenal fans. Somehow, Arsenal fans thought we could turn Man City over, right?
Well, you've all seen it, haven't you? Where they thought.
Well, that was Everton fans who put around that we'd equalised. I mean, don't get me wrong. We'll talk about this in a minute. No, Kudus, his bicycle kick, well, goal of the season, bias West Ham view. But what a tremendous strike that was, and Pep went absolutely mad. And then, of course, Souček with his little handball tried to... But that was it, really.
Yeah, well, what cracked me up about the Souček handball was that he did it and ran away just celebrating as if he'd scored a goal.
I know.
It's just like, honestly.
And everyone's holding... It's the most blatant handball you'd ever seen. But,
I know.
But this is part of it. You know, West Ham players had nothing to play for. David Moyes had nothing to play for. We'd already cemented ninth. It's worth £3.1 million a place. It means we should earn in turnover 365 million this year because of the Declan Rice profit of 100 million. But we weren't playing for a place. We weren't playing for Europe. We were playing for absolutely nothing. And there's a lot of people who think, well, including was it your son? Was it your son who said, "I don't want us to help Arsenal"? Is that because your brother's Arsenal, or what? How do you feel? I'm not going to ask you about your son. I'm going to ask you about you. Did you want Arsenal to win
No, out of everyone,
Premier League?
I'm happy. I prefer City to win it.
Oh, really? For the fourth
Yeah.
year running?
I don't care about that because, I mean,
We know more Arsenal fans, and they would be
yeah.
unbearable. That's really what it's
Yeah, and it's like
And I don't know many City fans, yeah?
exactly, and
They happen to be in Manchester, funny enough.
and City sort of like for whatever you think about all of these politics around them and all these charges around them, they play the best football and are the best team, and are the best coached team. They've run things really well, and
Yeah. Well, despite the game being, so David Moyes was asked before the game, Arteta was an ex-captain of yours, Declan Rice was an ex-captain of yours, because Arteta was a captain at obviously Everton and Declan Rice obviously at West Ham. Will you do him any favours? And he went, absolutely not. I don't know anyone any favours. We'd be professional. We'd play a game. But it's a laugh because the commentators, everyone wrote us off. Let me give you the stats, John.
okay,
Man City had 71.5% possession, leaving West Ham with 28.5% possession. Now, that's on its own not too bad. Man City had 28 shots, 12 on target. Try and have a guess how many shots West Ham had.
2.
3, 2 on target. And I think those 2 on target, one is the one that went in. The other one probably, did the handball count as a shot on target? And one off target?
I don't know. But, yeah.
It wasn't really a contest. Phil Foden show was in effect. Again,
I think Phil Foden's won his place on the bench for England.
he has, yeah.
Yeah.
Shame about
Southgate won't start him.
Shame about Jared Bowen as well, because he had tonsillitis, so he was not. I don't think he would have made a difference, but obviously he didn't go to beat Di Canio's title. So, of course, what do they do?
What?
Well, Bowen's not playing. Who do they bring in? Another defender, 5 at the back. Brought in Aaron
exactly.
Cresswell. Mavropanos came back from injury to replace Ogbonna. Sadly, I'll talk about this later. Oggy's last game. But I can't think, unless you can think, is there anything positive to say about the game apart from Kudos's amazing goal?
Well, he scored, an amazing goal. The positive, we didn't get absolutely spanked.
No. Areola made 9 saves. 9 saves. He had a really good game, actually.
So, I think it was pretty much as expected. I think. I mean, obviously, when you get a chance to get Nigel on, he was there. He'll have stories and more info for you. But
I'm going to ask him later. I won't ask you this because I think you won't know. But I blamed James Ward-Prowse for the first 2 goals.
Did you?
I did. Not that I'm victimising people, but I do blame him. I thought he was poor on both of them. He should have done better.
There was no Alvarez again, was there?
No Alvarez. He was sitting on the bench.
Oh.
More people sitting on the bench are likely to go. So, we finished... we lost 3-1, in case you missed what the end result was. But we finished 9th. And look, if someone had told you... So we finished on 52 points, right? 38 games played. We won 18 games. We drew 6. We lost 14. We scored 85 goals, John. 85 goals! Goals of fun! We had 62 goals against. Sorry, no, that's us. That's not us. That's Newcastle. Hang on. Hang on.
Oh, hello, lads.
We had the lads. It went down. Right, I'll start again. We won 14 games, right? We drew 10. We lost 14. We scored 60 goals. we let in 74, so minus 14 goal difference, which
God.
sort of stood out. And we had 52 points. It didn't help. The last six
What,
games were loss, draw,
yeah, I
loss,
mean,
win, loss.
what were we on at Christmas when we were sat up there?
I can't remember.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? The drop off again. I mean, the club, for all of they say or done, they must be gutted really, because if we'd have stayed up and around there, they'd have won another 10, 12 mil in money, and we'd be in Europe. You know.
Do you know how many points you needed to be safe this season?
No, how many was it this season?
27.
Blimey.
Well, actually, 26 would have done it. So Sheffield United got 16 with a minus goal difference of minus 69. Burnley only had 24 with a minus goals difference of 37. And Luton Town went down on 26 with a minus 33. So Nottingham Forest actually was 6 points ahead on 32 in 17th place.
And they got deducted, was it 4 points, wasn't it?
Yeah, or 2 points in the end. Brentford had 39 points, minus 9. And Everton had 40 after their points deduction. And then it was a jump up to 14th on Wolves. And then you had a flurry of Fulham on 47, Bournemouth on 48, Brighton on 48, Crystal Palace on 49. What was happening there? They beat Villa. They beat Villa 5-0 in the last game. What's going on there?
Yeah, the new manager's turned them right around, and he's
yeah.
installed something there, and it's be interesting to see what happens if they retain their players next season and add wisely.
Well, Tottenham must be kicking themselves because if they had got something out of that City game, they could have been the ones in the fourth place in Champions League group stage.
Yeah.
What do they get now? Obviously, Man City first, Arsenal second, Liverpool third, Aston Villa fourth. What do they get for fifth? Is it the qualifying round?
Europa.
It's only Europa. It's not
Europa.
There's no qualifying anymore. So you've got Europa. Chelsea and six have got Europa as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
That means
Newcastle waiting to see what happens in the cup final.
I wonder whether there's a chance they could.
What happens in the cup final? I think. Okay. I think. Yeah. If City win, then it could go down a place, and they get conference also. Yeah.
Well, they get conference at the moment on 7th, don't they?
Yeah, I think so. I don't really know, mate. I mean, you need Nigel for that stuff, don't you?
Man United have got obviously only finished on 60 as well, on 8th place. Look to have missed out of Europe. But anywho, that's the season done. Goodbye to David Moyes. I know Nigel's there and we'll speak to him later. Obviously, he couldn't say goodbye to the fans. I think that's one of the reasons Nigel went. And the players couldn't say goodbye because there was a slight pitch invasion. That was mental, wasn't it?
Proper pitch invasion, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he's for all his ego and everything else, I think he's quite subdued. We said this last week, that he probably just wanted to slip away gently. And a few players have come out. Bowen's come out. Paquetá's come out. And Souček today to say really nice things about David Moyes. Have you read them?
I saw Souček's comments on X or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Do you see what Paquetá says? He's the first manager who, makes me train and really holds me to account and is transparent and says stuff to my face, etc. So, yeah, great. He says that just before going. Well, we were supposed to hear that, the FA was supposed to charge him or face a lawsuit.
When was that then?
That was supposed to be by today. Yeah. And we've heard nothing. And I've asked the source close to Paquetá, and he has not replied. So he obviously doesn't want to reply.
Well, there you go. Maybe they are bluffing.
Well, maybe they are. But if you said at the beginning of the season, quarter-final, go out to the champions of Germany, and ninth place finish, we would have accepted it. If you remember, and I think AI Sean did this, look at our predictions. I said 17th. I think you said 12th, John. There was nothing above 12th or 11th for many of us.
There you go. I mean, we were all surprised by Christmas, our summer.
Yeah.
But we nicked various wins, didn't we? We lucked in these wins against Brighton
Yeah,
and
but
things. And
to be fair, Tim Steiner made a difference. I mean, Kudos was a big, Bowen came good. Kudos played well. Alvarez was a good signing. Emerson, we had some good
no,
signings.
we had some
They're
good,
all
yeah. But
coming together.
Emerson
Even
and
Mavropanos,
Paquetá
yeah,
was doing all right together, weren't they?
Paquetá was as well.
Emerson linked with Paquetá. We had a little run of decent performances, but he just completely tailed off after Christmas. But I mean, what did we win? 3 or 4 games after Christmas. That was it.
I think it was. Yeah, it wasn't
You
great.
know, that in itself deserves for him to be gone.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about some transfer news. I mean, look, I'm not bothering with any of the names being thrown at us at the moment, and the reason I say that is, Lopetegui, whatever you want to call him, J-Lo, hasn't really started yet, and who knows what our real targets are. I'm sure that lots of ones will be saying, but let's talk.
Lopetegui and Dighton, I'd like to think.
Well, I'm sure there is, because they are going to be head coach, and we'll talk about when they're going to be announced. But one thing I can tell you for certain, talked to the senior source earlier today, Ogbonna, who is 36, in 3 days' time, will not be offered a new contract and he will be leaving the club. Which is a shame, but I think everyone would understand at 36, his Premier League days are probably past him.
Well, that's, again, the club's decision and the new manager's decision.
Well, he must have signed off on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you'd like to think that they've got a better option coming through.
Yeah.
All round, it is a shame. He's been really good. He's been a very good defender for us. We all wish him the best going forward.
Second one, Ben Johnson, definitely leaving as a free agent. Here he's been offered Palace. Let's see if anyone else comes into him, but that looks like a bit of a done deal. And Divin Mumbama, also, we've not agreed to deal with him. Now, I think that's a slightly different one, because it's not like, I mean, Ben Johnson wanted 60 notes a week, and we did say, don't be silly, but I think since then, he's not really sat down, and his agents have, got their eye on a free transfer. So, good luck. Hope he does well. Divin Mumbama, I'm not sure they were completely convinced that he's got what it takes to become a first team regular player, and his agents wanted first team money. I don't know whether they're right. I would imagine Lopetegui has already had a view on this. But whatever happening, I hear he's leaving, and we'll see. We'll see what becomes of the young chap, whether he makes it in another Premier League side, whether he rips up the Championship, etc. But my understanding is he's leaving as well.
There you go. But you've got no idea where he's going.
Well, I mean, I haven't not from many sources. I mean, he's been rumoured to Everton are looking at him, Sunderland are looking at him, West Brom are looking at him. So if West Brom are out, aren't they? They went out to Southampton, so
yeah,
it would have to be Championship if it was Sunderland or West Brom.
Well, Sunderland have a history of getting some of our youth team players and them turning good, eh?
Wolves were another team apparently looking at him as well, Gary O'Neill. But we shall see. We shall see. I hope the young chap does well. 2 players that are playing, John, are staying.
I would like him to go if that's his choice, but I would like us to put some kind of buyback clause in it, in the deal.
Yeah, 2 players that are staying. Fabianski. Now, this is not really new news, but a number of reports have suggested him in Poland and other places, his contract was up in the summer. But that's not the case. He signed a contract a year ago until the end of the season. But we actually activated his 1 year clause in December last year. So he's actually contracted to the end of June 2025. And I think he's proved he can still be a good backup keeper, isn't he? This season,
Yeah,
stepped in. What is he? 30? No, he's not. He's 40, isn't he? Is he 40?
I really don't know, but yeah. I mean, he's all right as a backup. I'm not. I wouldn't
No,
be.
I've been unfair. He's 39 years old. He turns 40, so he will turn 40 while still at West Ham. 18th of April, 1985 was born. So in April next year he'll turn 40, which is just before his contract will end now.
Well, I'd like yeah. He was a goalkeeper, didn't he, Lopetegui? So
He is, and he likes to take goalkeeper sessions himself as well. Some of the time, he did it at Wolves, and he's done it at other clubs. So he keeps a very keen eye to give his goalkeeping wisdom. The next player, John. Right, are you ready for this?
yeah.
Who's staying? Change your heart.
Dun, dun, dun.
Aaron Cresswell.
Oh, crazy, eh?
Now, Cressy originally turned down. He had an option. He turned down the option. He wanted to move back up north. Wanted to go to either Wolves or a club because, as you know, he's a Scouser and he came from there. He bought a house up there, and everyone assumed he turned down. I mean, everyone goes, why was he offered an option in the first place? But he turned it down. Well, it now seems he's had a change of heart, and he's taken up a year option. Now, one of the reasons for this, John, and I didn't realise this at the time, is you remember he was going to Wolves last summer?
Yeah.
2.5 million.
Lopetegui wanted
Yep.
him.
Yeah. Lopetegui is a big admirer of his, spoke to him personally, was the one who wanted to bring him down. It was Craig Dawson that recommended him to Lopetegui. And it seems that we've had our first U-turn based on change of manager. Now, I know a lot of fans are not happy about this, that we are signing is he a 34-year-old, isn't he?
If you say so.
I'm going to look that up.
He's no spring chicken, is he?
He's 34 years old. He turns 35 in December.
He is a spring chicken compared to us, but yeah.
I mean, he ticks a box. Homegrown. We need homegrown because we've got Ben Johnson leaving. We lost Connor Coventry. I'm trying to think who other we lost, but we do need homegrown players.
Well, we can't just get rid of everybody. I think there'll be so many people leaving or contracts expiring.
I don't know. I mean, the rest of them is. I mean, I don't know anything definitely about Danny Ings. It will be down to the manager what he thinks about Danny Ings. I know Aguirre wants off, but again, what's the new manager make an assessment on him? Rumours about Emerson wanting out, but I don't know. Again, new manager. The interesting one for me is Antonio. Did you see his interview?
No, I didn't. I saw some clips of it where he's talking about his mental health and stuff.
Yeah.
And
so what he said was, and this was very interesting. It's an hour. Go and watch it if you have an hour free, which I know you don't. But we'll do what Dodgy does. Watch it twice the speed. What he says is every year he's being linked with someone, and his agent comes to him. So he says, when he was playing right back, a top six club came into him, and he turned it down because he said, "I don't want to play right back." And then when he moved to right wing, apparently another top six club, a different one, we don't know who these are, came in for him. Probably Villa, top six, came in for him, but then he got injured, so nothing happened there. And he reckons the closest he got to leaving was last summer, abroad. He said lots of foreign clubs are coming in for him, but he pulled. The club pulled the rug and said, "No, we need you," because he was coming into some form. So by his own words, he has wanted out, and there has been interest. And I just wonder whether without David Moyes, it's the kind of player that Lopetegui wants. Whether he's going to get on with a new manager, but also this is his last payday, really. If he wants a contract, if he wants to go to Saudi Arabia, if he wants to go to MLS, this is his chance, and he would probably do quite well at those two. He again, a lot of people say his contract's up, but no. On the 1st of September last year, he signed a 1-year contract with a 1-year option, so he's contracted till June 2025 with an option to go to June 2026. So it's interesting because I'm sure you've seen the clips where he talks about his mental health and he didn't want to play football and he didn't like football. But he does admit for the first time, and we've not really spoken, we knew about this and we sort of hinted, but we haven't said anything because it was private. But he's come out with it now. He went through a very messy divorce. He split up with his missus who lives up north. They got divorced. He didn't get to see his children a lot of the time, and that obviously, and he was injured, and that obviously played very heavy on when he talks about some of that. And that's the reason for the last 2 seasons at the Lap Appreciation, you see him walking around on his own without his family. I mean, lots of us have been through divorce, not you, John. But, it can, I'm sure it does distract someone like that. And in the end, he just said, I didn't enjoy playing football anymore. He says he's got the love back again now. But that does explain what he was going through at the time. And, fair play for him to talking about it. As I said, don't know what's going to happen with Danny Ings. Anang might be another one that's going. Hasn't really made it in the goalkeeper stakes to take over from Fabianski. So whether we'll do that. Obviously, we sold Kera.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. What's happened there?
So there's an option to buy
Yeah.
for 11 million euros. Now, we bought him for 12 million euros. We sold him for 11.5. There was a £500,000 loan fee plus full wages, £80,000 a week, by the way, and then 11 million option to buy, which they exercised.
So, but how can that go through at this precise moment?
Well, it won't go through to the July, but they had, the way it is a contractual thing. They have to let West Ham know that they're going to exercise that right, and therefore, but his actual transfer will only go through on the 1st of July. Doesn't matter, does it? Because they're not playing.
No.
So he's technically a West Ham player to the end of June, but they're still paying his wages because they were paying his wages anyway. So it makes no difference to us. I did go to my senior source and say, "Oh, well done. You only lost £500,000 on the deal." And he went, "Oh, supporters think we break even when actually you've got the agent fee in, the agent fee out, the Premier League levy, and the FIFA levy as well. So FIFA levy 5% for all international transfers, and that gets given to the clubs that trained him up to the age he was 23. So they all get a proportion. The Premier League take a levy as well. I think about 3 or 4% as well of the deal. So something like about 8% of the deal goes to the Premier League and FIFA. Agents usually take 5%, sometimes as much as 10% on the deal in, the deal out. So, there's no doubt we did lose on Kera, but not as much as we lost on others. So,
so I said on the group, wasn't it, that I don't think that they may keep break even or whatever. I think they're incompetent, or he's incompetent, and we lose money all the time.
Yeah. And then if we move on to Benrahma, Benrahma obviously at where is he? Is he at Lyon?
Lyon.
Yeah.
Was it Lyon?
Lyon or Lyon? I can't remember. So interesting. They have got. Everyone was saying it was obligation to buy, but actually it's an option to buy. I asked the senior source. He said not obligation. It's an option. But apparently they've got a bit of a problem, and the problem is they're on a transfer embargo. Their chairman has been telling little porkies to the French financial authority. They've been put on a wish list, and each transfer window they've got to ask permission to spend any money, and this is one of them. So until they get permission, they're not going to be able to do anything. They're not going to be able to exercise their option.
Where are they in the league? You know,
Good question.
what sort of impact have they had?
I think he's played
Or has
all
he
right.
had?
French
So it's Lyon, Olympic Lyonnais. But
table.
like,
Let's have a look what the end table is. Oh, they finished 6th.
okay, so financially they might be able to do it.
Yeah, so PSG obviously won it. Monaco second. That was where Monaco is where Kera went, wasn't it?
Yeah, he scored last night, didn't he? Or the night before?
Well, they finished second, assuming their season's finished. Brest, don't know who they are, finished third. LOSC finished fourth. Nice finished fifth, and Lyon finished sixth.
Sixth.
Yeah.
Well, say they might be able to do the deal, mightn't they?
They might do.
If they get permission.
Yeah. Money-wise, before we move on to the manager, as I said, with our finishing, we should turn over 365 million. Now that turnover doesn't mean anything, but one of that reasons is we will book a full 100 million profit from Declan Rice. That's the way accounts work, because he was signed on 15th of July last year. It falls within this season. We will earn 148 million from Premier League TV money, so that's an equal share of 91.7. Facilities fees 19.2 million. We did get shown on the box 16 times outside of Amazon, and we got a merit payment for finish 9th of 37.4 million. On top of that, 23.5 million prize money from Europa League, 45 million from ticket day revenue, bolstered by our cup run, so we've got a lot more money than we'd usually do. Sponsorship commercial about the same, 35 million, and retail shop sales of 13.5 million. So that is way above our record turnover of 253, but as I say, artificially inflated by the sale of Declan Rice. What does this mean? I'm sure you've heard a lot of people mention this 150 million transfer pocket. Now, I think transfer budget. I think a lot of that relates on, Paquetá being sold, relies on Paquetá being sold for 85 million. So I think it's around 30 million pound normal budgeted for finishing 9th. 30 million extra from European prize money and ticket sales, so that makes it 60, and then player sales. So if you think about it at the moment, that is, at the moment it's the 11 million euros, so watch that, 9-something million. Then you've got Paquetá potentially 85 million, so that takes you to about 95 million. And if you get 15 for Ben Rama, you're talking 110, aren't you?
Well, no, you're talking on top of the 60 you already budgeted
on top of 60, you're talking about 170. Now, there's a lot of ifs and buts there, but what I'm saying is if you don't sell Paquetá, your budget's going to be a lot less.
Well, exactly that. But,
Paquetá's
60 70 million's not nothing to be sniffed at, is it?
Release clause does become active on the 1st of July for 85 million. Senior source says we're not going to let him go on the cheap. If City or any other club thinks we're going to sell him on the cheap, that won't happen. And Kudos, we know now, has got an 85 million release clause. That doesn't become active to the 1st of July 2025. However, if someone walks in with £100 million, I'm sure we've got to consider it, haven't we?
Yeah, well, they would.
Would you?
I don't know. I mean, it's everything's like, if he wants to go, then you have to let him go. If he's happy to stay and someone offers you 100 million and you don't want, he's happy to stay and you're happy to keep him, then don't sell him. But we can't sell, surely in one transfer window, we can't sell Paquetá and what do you call it, Kudos,
Yeah.
and like Antonio go, and I know Emerson go. He's been linked with Rome.
You can't sell
You
all.
can't just let everyone go. Otherwise, what are you going to have left?
Yeah, exactly. We've got to trust Steiner.
You got to have some continuity.
Yeah. So.
But I think Paquetá, if he goes, he goes.
Yeah. I think Paquetá will go, but only if they do drop the charges. If they don't drop the charges as this goes on or is charged, that's gone out the window straight away.
Yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed having Paquetá at our club. I've found him. I found him the most entertaining out of more often than not when things weren't very entertaining. So
yeah.
But I'll always like him.
He seems to go off on the boil on the,
He has gone off the boil
in the last few games,
4 or 5
and
games.
maybe that's why we've not done so well.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the manager, the elephant in the room. So he signed his contract on the 8th of May. We're now on the 20th of May. So 12 days have passed since he signed his contract. And it does make me laugh sometimes where people say, people could come in and still, this person could sign or he could still go to Bayern Munich, etc. But that's not the case. He signed 12 days ago. I thought they might make it an announcement this morning, but I think they're letting the City stuff down. You've seen it's well briefed. It's going to happen later this week, the announcement will be made.
I think also Liverpool
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, someday it's going to be announced.
Liverpool announced their manager today as well.
Oh, who was it?
Oh, what's his name? From Dutch bloke. I can't remember.
Oh, Arnie Slot.
Slot, yeah, that's it.
Oh, the one that we were looking at. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, guess who's here?
Who?
Len.
Hello.
Hello, Len.
All right.
So good to hear you.
Ah, nice. Good to hear you too.
Yeah. How's your mum? How's your studio?
Yeah, both all right. Both settled down.
Good.
That's the best word.
Yeah. So.
Well, you've sort of missed Sean talking for the last half hour anyway.
Well, hang on a minute.
We've missed nothing, have I?
We've only got the whole podcast's only 37 minutes long, so that's untrue that I've been talking. We did do our review, so we're coming back to that. Then, what did you think of the game, Lenny boy?
Not that. The old Saturday, the old sort of Sunday as a whole was a bit of an anticlimax, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it?
And
did you get whipped up into the Kingmakers kind of syndrome?
No, you look. We know there's no fucking surprises like that.
No,
not up there these days.
Did you see the picture that the Premier League made Arsenal 2023-2024 champions?
No,
and it was in the back of the Emirates, and someone took a shot of it. A bit like when,
but like a coach.
It was
bit like a coach. Yeah.
It's the celebrate. The arch, the Premier League arch they bring out when they make the award.
Oh, okay.
But that would have been the Premier League, to be fair. It wouldn't have been.
I'm sure they had to as well,
yeah,
though, didn't they? They had to be something. You never know. Well, that we all knew, but
yeah.
Are you glad it's all over?
Yeah. I renewed my season ticket today, though.
Hey!
So but I am glad it's all over. Just need a fresh start.
Yeah, well, King is dead. Long live the King.
No, stop saying that.
Well, no, why can't I say it?
It only applies to Kings, didn't it?
Well, he is our king, wasn't he?
No, he fucking well is not.
Well, he wasn't your king, was he?
No, that's not true. That it was the whole point. He wasn't the head of state of our club. Tim Steidten is.
What are your hopes and aspirations then?
Well, same as last year, none.
Oh, really?
I just want the club to be run a different way by Tim Steidten again. But that didn't happen last year. It was just literally they wasted a year of your life last year.
Yeah.
Everyone knew it, and everyone was self-serving. Everyone involved like that should fuck off, which will. The sooner time goes,
we went through the first 40 minutes without any swearing at all, and then
Well, you're going to talk about David Moyes and Kings, comparing to a king. You're going to get a swear word at me.
You missed the news that Aaron Cresswell's staying.
Oh, I'll see you. Arslick on Twitter about it.
What?
Firstly revealed by ex-employee. Who
Yeah.
gives a fuck?
Well, that's
We're going to find out, and he's going to be fucking there when we turn up.
I don't. Not a lot of supporters are not too pleased that Aaron Cresswell's staying. Thinks it actually shows a backward step of keeping someone. At least he'll make a 10-year anniversary. Fucker still won't have a testimonial.
No, so you're swearing now.
Yeah, see, that's what you do to me. That's what you do to me.
That's you imagining Sullivan spending his money. That's what made you swear.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean it's not. I mean, do you want to play for West Ham or not? If you ended a transfer request.
Well, we were just saying, he nearly went to Lopetegui.
He's about to say that.
Yeah, yeah. It was Lopetegui who wanted him at Wolves last year, and his move only broke down when Lopetegui walked out. And Gary O'Neill didn't want him. There you go. How was your event on Friday night, Len?
All right, thank you.
Yeah, who was there?
Big Phil, Mervyn, so two ex-goalies. You're talking when you say who was there, you mean ex-players, right?
Yeah, I don't mean. You don't have to tell me the whole audience, right? Because that's boring.
Yeah. There was Pat Holland, Jeff Pike, Tony Gale, Mark Wald, Tony Cotty. There's a couple more. Tonka was there. It was good to see Tonka.
How was it?
Yeah.
All in an urn, or were they all like being paid to be there, or some there anyway?
No, some of them. I think some of them just. I don't know, to be honest. It would be the honest answer because
I thought you were part of the organising committee. You were there.
Well, only to a certain degree.
Selling your wares on the studio, weren't you?
Only a little bit. I was just showing some paintings off.
A lot. How many did you sell? Is it rude for me to ask what you take?
I didn't sell any paintings.
Oh.
Sold a few prints. Yeah, sold a few prints.
Was it worth the train fare or the?
No, it's always worth going. That's not really why I go. It's, I like to be
to get your brand out there.
Well, no. To be honest, if you really want to know, Sean, I think that feels more like West Ham than what your mates put together. Simple as that. That's why I enjoy going.
Okay.
I go to Stratford and it doesn't feel anything like West Ham.
It was an E13 production.
That's right.
What was the talk about from the old pros?
It was a John Lyle anniversary. Was that anniversary? It was John Lyle evening. There's another one next year, an anniversary of the 75 Cup in 50 years. And they're doing doubling up, doing the 1980 and the 1975.
What did the pros think of Lopetegui? Did they talk about that?
They didn't talk about him.
No.
Well, what I will
about
say
David Moyes going at all?
No, actually. It was nice to sort of not talk about that, but there is a how can I put this? There's a phrase that's coming a lot as I'm spending more time with these ex-players from these generations of 78s. There's a phrase that keeps coming out a lot. People that keep going over, and they're saying things like all the modern techniques, like the closing down and the low block, we used to do back in the old days, and we used to call it something else. But it's almost like there's a sense that, and I see this with Moyes' mates, the defenders of Moyes, all this old school tyre brigade. They kind of resent the appreciation for the continental managers and say, well, the British managers can do that. And this is where people get behind Moyes, which is now easier for me to say now he's gone. That there was a lot of people getting behind it, being sort of the old pro-British old school tie kind of thing that's just sort of happening, and I think I think you're going to hear a lot more of it, especially now David Moyes is going to do a bit of media
you don't
work.
think he's going to do a bit of backstabbing or say
No, we'll do
something
bits of
against...
we'll do a bit of backstabbing, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surely he's going to go straight into the Brighton job, isn't he?
No,
He's got to be the best candidate, isn't he?
I said
He's
this on
so
Talk
good.
TV.
He's so
He's
good.
going to go to
Scotland,
to
you
Scotland.
think? Scotland manager's job.
He's going to be the Scottish manager, yeah. And the reason he's going to do that is they're going to lose their job after the Euros, and then he's going to take that. He's said on record, that's a job I want to do. Unfinished business. That or Celtic. I don't know who's the manager of Celtic at the moment. Don't even know who the manager of Scotland is actually.
Manager of Scotland is our ex-coach.
Yeah, Steve Clark, who may not lose his job even if he doesn't do well, because he's qualified for the Euros, which they haven't done in a long march on.
Yeah.
So I mean,
He still
you
get the
talk
sack
about,
when he doesn't do anything.
I
though.
mean, you talk about Moyes' success, which is nothing until last year. That's quite an achievement for Steve Clark.
Well, he reckons he's had some job offers already, but I'm sure he hasn't. He's not hanging up his management boots, old Moisey. Talking of that, and you just remind me, old pros. A friend of mine asked me to give a bit of a promo to Echo 61, your old mate, dinner with Sir Geoff Hurst. It's in Leatherhead, in Surrey, on the 12th of June. It's at Tyrrell's Wood Golf Club, which is the drive in Leatherhead. Tickets are still available to have dinner with Sir Geoff Hurst. Only £99 for each ticket, from 6:30 to 11:30 at night. You've been to one of the talks with Sir Geoff Hurst, haven't you?
No, we got one coming up in October.
All right. Well, there you go. Come to Leatherhead and listen. They are having a bit of trouble. And don't laugh. And I know you've probably been biting your lip. They're having a bit of trouble selling the tickets. And I know someone, well, the organisers of this. And I said the problem is...
You're in Leatherhead.
Well, one, you're in Leatherhead in Surrey. But two, I mean, the price point's quite expensive at £99.
It's his farewell tour, isn't it, Geoff Hurst? I don't know if you know about it.
I do. He's done quite a lot of these, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like it's rare. This is probably his 5th farewell tour.
You make it sound very it sound very Spinal Tap when you say it like that. I know,
but he is he the last living 1966?
Don't push me. I think he is, but I'm just trying. I think he is.
Yeah.
Why do you ask these questions without any of us really knowing?
I don't know.
I don't know
that. We should know that.
I think he is, but the problem is we live in an age of misinformation where it could have come on Twitter.
Yeah.
With someone.
Richard Cracknell is the host. Would you pay £99 to go and see Sir Geoff Hurst, John?
No.
Would you have paid £60 to go and see Paolo Di Canio, as me and Gary did?
No.
Would you pay £25 to, I don't know, Julian Dix?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, okay, fine enough. All right, we're just trying to find out your price point, John.
My price point. Oh.
Yeah. How much do you... I'm gossiping a little bit here, because I know you'll know this question, Len. You know how much Paolo Di Canio charges.
I know, yeah, but I'm not saying.
30 grand. How much do you reckon Sir Geoff Hurst charges for one of these events?
I don't think Paolo got that either. But...
I tell you what, that's why someone I know asked, and he got quoted 30 for one night. Okay. Jeff has got to be what, 10?
No, I don't.
5?
Think so. I don't know.
Nothing close to that.
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Anyway, if you do want to have dinner with Geoff Hurst, go on the website, look for Echo 61, £99 for tickets in Leatherhead, Surrey at Tyrrell's Wood.
What's Echo 61?
I don't know.
Why are you fucking plugging it if you don't know what it is? This is like the thing that you got when you got mugged off saying the silly name.
Right, a friend of mine, right? A friend of mine knows the promoter. Now, my friend of mine is an Arsenal fan, but he said he's struggling with the tickets. Can you give it a little plug? So I said, yeah, all right. Jeff Hurst needs a bit of money, and they need to sell their tickets. I'd hate for him to play to an empty crowd in Surrey. It would be just so
Well,
disappointing. for
Echo
Surrey.
61 do premier sporting events, so
That's it. How
Well-
do you know? You've looked them up.
yeah. They need help. Maybe they should think of something else.
Darren Sheen. There you go. Darren Sheen started sporting versions in Surrey. He's a Surrey boy.
Okay, dinner with Sir Jeff Hurst.
Anywho,
Anywho, look, come on, you digress. But
I
you were talking
know.
about West Ham until
I know. Well, we've done the game, right? There's not a lot to talk about in the game.
we've done the news.
We've talked about the
O'Connor's
season.
leaving.
We've talked about you could have got 26 points and still stayed up this season.
Yeah, piss poor that.
You haven't said when we're actually going to get Lopetegui announced, though.
So I did say that. I said it will be announced
Sometime
later
this week.
Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
Okay.
I think it's
When
a
do
little
the
bit
players go?
gender fluid. They've already gone on their holidays.
Right.
They're off.
So how long are they off for now?
Till the 1st of July. Or first week in July. They're contracted to have 6 weeks or 4 weeks. So yeah, they go on their holidays straight after the last game, and they come back first week in July.
Right.
But I'm sure they'd be speaking to him on the phone, or he'd be ringing round, dropping round their beach huts or whatever. Who knows?
Well, they're beach huts.
So, I don't know. There's nothing else. We can't really talk about next season. We can't talk about our aims, etc. I'll tell you, the only thing we can do before going is maybe do Super 6, yeah? Who won Super 6? Drum roll, please.
I don't do Super 6.
No, I know you don't.
Do you do it, John?
No.
No, but we've got to
Don't talking about them.
Well, we've got to say who won, and they will get a prize.
What, the same
Hang on a
prize they got
minute.
last year?
Well, actually, this
Sack of
prize
shit, was it?
is a friend of ours, right? Phil Walker, who's in our section, was the winner of. I should have brought it down with 498 points. Roger Brooks was second at 492. Luke Sharman, you know who that is, 486 was third. Keith Milton, Big Keith, our friend, was fourth on 476. Adrian Fratley was fifth. Tom Smith was sixth. Mark Matthews was seventh. Liam Tyrrell was eighth. Gareth Davis was ninth. And finally, guess who was in 10th place?
You.
No, Nick Harvey. I didn't do it. So there you go. There's the top 10. Well done for everyone who took part. We'll be starting the league again. Memorable on... sorry. Not option. Memorable mention to Richard Dardsey, who came 13th. Better luck next time.
Easy
Mark
for you to
Murphy.
say.
Mark Murphy came 16th.
So what's the prize?
Well,
Is it one of our mugs like it was last year?
probably is. Well, no, usually.
Or which we haven't got any?
No, hang on. So Nigel usually gets out something from his collection.
All right.
Actually, I've just helped him get something collection. So I've got some. I've bought some shares in Thames Ironworks from 1864, signed by Frank Hills himself.
Well, we sort of know that because you've been talking about it
I have, yeah.
for the last few weeks.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
Lovely.
Anywho, I think that's it for this episode.
Oh,
Are you joining us for when Nigel turns up for the second episode, Len, or are you?
no.
Was it a flying
Depends how long
visit?
he's going to be.
Well, he did say he would be around this time. We're recording on Monday night about half
What
past
happened
8.
with your special guest?
My special guest said yes, but I haven't actually arranged a time and date with him, so he wasn't going to do it live. So I need to
What
ask
did
you.
you do with him then?
Huh?
Why didn't you do it with him then?
Well, I've been busy. I worked and then I came, made dinner, jumped on the podcast now. I'll probably do it tomorrow or later in the week.
Oh, I see.
So you tell me some questions you want to ask as special guest.
All right. Do you want them now?
Yeah, you can tell me that.
I want you to... Do people know who it is?
No, but you can announce who it is.
No, I don't want to announce who it is. Let them wait then.
All right. Okay, we'll answer the questions then, or are you going to send them to me? Or will it be obvious if you tell me the questions?
Well, no. I'll tell you the question.
Go on then.
I want you to ask him
Here we go.
what he thinks about. There was a response to something he done. Well, every time he pops up on Twitter about, you're only saying that like you're looking after your mates. I want him to know how that makes him feel when he hears that, and if such relationships with manager and journalists exist, mentioning no names, of course. If he sort of knows of such things. Of course, I do.
Okay. Guess who's just turned up?
Nigel?
It's Shedman. Shedman, where are you? What are you doing?
I'm in my shed.
Well, Len's just joined. We've talked about football. We've talked about transfers. We've talked about Lopetegui. We talked about everything. We've done the Super Six rundown. Well done, Phil Walker. But the one thing we haven't
Apparently,
had,
you're going to give him a prize, Nigel.
you always
apparently.
do. You always do. That's your contribution.
That's it.
Tell us about. Obviously, you went to the game. I hope you weren't part of the pitch invasion. How was your day out, Nigel? Before we go, we'll squeeze it into this podcast. What's he playing? Is he playing music? Are you playing music?
Best I can do.
What's that? What is it?
It's a song.
Can't hear anything.
Is that better?
All right. Whoa. Copyright strike.
No.
Oh, Blue Moon. Yeah. Good day out.
Yeah, actually, it was a good day out.
Yeah.
Did you
Long
take your
day.
sandwiches, Nigel?
No, I wish I had it done. Blimey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got sweaty cheese sandwiches by the
What
time
time
you
did
got
you
up
have to
there.
leave, and what time did you get back?
Left at 7 in the morning. Got home about midnight, I think.
Who was doing the driving?
Me, I did it all.
Oh, you did it yourself.
Yeah, it took myself.
Oh,
Drove
for you
up-
were going up with other people. You met them up there.
No, I met him up there.
You went with Johnny No Mates.
That's all right. I drove up to my nephew's, dropped off a table.
Oh, what you do
Yeah.
on your way?
Well, it wasn't on my way because you have to go past Berries, North Manchester.
All right.
Yeah, and then we went to the game, and it was a strange. Yeah, obviously see Dodsey, see Merion, see Paul Turner. Well, Sean. Everybody had a photo with me and sent it to you. For
Yeah,
some
of course
reason.
they did.
Jesus Christ.
I have sources everywhere.
Yeah. So that was all good. Had a nice meal in Cheetah Mill. Which if I was gonna describe Cheetah Mill as a part of London, it would be Upton Park. If you turned left out of the station, not right. But that was a cracking meal, to be fair. Kebab shop. Fed the four of us £41, sorry. Kebabs and meat and rice and chips and some Turkish pizza thing, and can highly recommend that. That was great. And yeah, the football, strange as it happens, my seat was next to my godson. So which was a bit strange. But we had a good chat with him, standing next to him watching the game. It's quite a nice stadium now, I think.
I thought that, looking at it.
Yeah, it is. I suppose when it's full. It's hard not to look at it and think, look what we could have had with a proper bit of planning. It's weird, though, because they are increasing the capacity. They're having a new stand built.
Are they?
So at the other end, so we were in the third tier, which got added a few years ago. At the other end, behind the goal, that's the last stand not to have a third tier. So they're building what looks to be a third tier, but I've been told it's not. It's going to be a continuation of the second tier, sort of like a blue wall. That's what they're going to go for.
Right.
I mean, it was full yesterday, but the joke is it's called the Empty Head, isn't it? By the Red Side of Manchester.
Of course they are. They're bitter. Did you stay for the trophy lift?
Yes.
Apparently, a lot of
Yeah.
West Ham fans did.
Yeah, it was good. Look, I've always found Man City to be a welcoming place. I mean, you don't get a lot of trouble at Man United now, to be fair, because when you walk along the road, unless you got a West Ham top on, you talk with my accent, you could be a Man United fan. Where City is the team of Manchester. So, but all very friendly and all, we can hark back to 1988 and whatever. I suppose that was the start of it, but it's always been quite friendly, They were sort of the West Ham of Manchester, weren't they? Or the North West. What
it says, by the way, I've just looked it up. £300 million project to take them to 60,000. Be ready in 2025-2026 season.
Yeah.
The expansion, which is centred around the North Stand you were talking about, will have, you'll like this, a 3,000 capacity fan zone, a 400-bed hotel, a new club shop, and, drum roll please, a museum.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, we never have one of them.
Well, they've got. I mean, the amount of trophies they're winning now, isn't it? They can have a museum.
Yeah.
As our lot can't forget ours. Can't wait to forget. There's difference. Right?
I mean, City do. I mean, here's the thing. You watch City. And I found myself watching their pre-match entertainment and the half-time. A couple of people on the screen talking. Played a couple of videos. Fantastic video. Paul Dickov reliving the Gillingham goal in the playoff final of, what was that, 96 against Gillingham, 97, when they were 2-0 down going in at the 90th minute at Wembley. And Dickov sitting there with a Man City fan, like reliving it. It's probably in his 60s, and he's telling Dickov what he thought of the goal and how important it was. And it's good that City can look back to that time and saying that was the changing fortunes of Man City, that without that they may not have what they've got now. You never see West Ham do that though, do you? As a club.
No.
And then what they did was, at the end, is Paul Dickov tells the bloke, well, don't worry, mate, because when I see you next time, you're going to be standing next to me presenting the Premier League trophy. And obviously, it does make you wonder, what would they have done with that video if they hadn't won the title? But anyway, they did. And out comes the bloke with the Premier League trophy, and he got to help hand out the medals.
A bit like the what do you call it? The Arsenal winners arch that got released everywhere.
I mean, but this is the funny thing is that I don't know how with the medals, I'd imagine must have 23, 24 on them. So, they've got 2 trophies, which we know.
Yeah.
But they would have had to have had 2 sets of medals made, only use 1 set. All the pyrotechnics and everything. I mean, and this was the thing. I thought the pitch invasion was brilliant.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I really did. Love to see a pitch invasion at the end of a game. I'm all for it.
Even though you couldn't say goodbye to David Moyes and the players.
That was a shame, but I suppose he had his farewell last week, to be fair, though. Lots of David Moyes songs were sung.
Oh, really?
Yep, all through the game.
Well, that's good. That's nice to hear.
So, David Moyes is Claret and Blue Army, and we got Super David Moyes. He knows exactly what we need.
Oh, that's nice to hear. No, I've not heard that.
Did you not? Oh, no. Right. No, I should. Unfortunately, I'm not one for videoing things.
Oh, that's a shame. Maybe Darcy will have it.
I don't know, but yeah, that was. There was plenty of that, and
I heard the ones against Arsenal.
Oh right, yeah, there was some unison singing. I like the fact that
we're champions of Europe singing to each other. That was quite funny.
Yeah, that was a it was like a communal sing along at one point. I like the fact they booed the Premier League woman. That was
Yeah,
quite
why
good.
why did she come and Richard Masters go to?
Because Richard Masters was because of the 115 charges against him. It may have looked a tad embarrassing for Richard Masters if
Gotcha.
they have to take this Premier League trophy away.
Yeah.
Which,
Oof.
that's something perhaps to cover when and if they ever have a trial or whatever they're doing. We've known for 2 years about 115 charges, and I think in that time Man City have won 6 trophies.
Oh,
And
really?
If they're found guilty of Premier League, of FFP, what trophies can they take away from them? Just the Premier League trophies, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So, I was talking about this as well in regards to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest deducted 4 points for FFP, but without spending what they
I
spent.
thought they got 2 back on appeal, though, didn't they?
No, Forest took the 4 points.
Oh,
I
did
think
they?
I think the appeal was declined.
Yeah, they didn't accuse. Everton got 4 back off the original 10, but then got another lot.
Well, we were saying you could survive on 26 points this season.
Yeah.
Goal difference.
This is the worst.
I mean, ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah. But it's the but how
Yeah, we
about
put
that?
11 behind the ball every
Yeah.
fucking game.
But what a great season to have a points deduction then.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But anyway, Forest's points deduction, without them spending that money, they probably wouldn't be a Premier League team. So are they wrong to do it? Are they wrong to do what they did?
Yeah, that told them, didn't it? That told them.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, both clubs that got points deduction survived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that really taught them. Anyway, anything else to add for this episode? John's going to leave us.
I'm going to leave. Why don't you just roll on into question
quickly,
time?
I had 20 minutes in the sweepstake. So, we had a little friendly sweepstake.
Oh,
before
was
the
that
game.
first goal?
Yeah.
Well, you're well at them, weren't you?
The nearest picked 7. It was 70 seconds, wasn't it? I think.
So did you all just think, oh, here we
Yeah.
go?
Well, there was
nerves.
there was not a funny moment. I made a few people chuckle when the Everton goal came through and we were 2-0 down. I did shout out, "Come on, we can start playing now." And because I thought, well, it don't matter, does it? We could have a go. And I think for 15 minutes, Man City, there was a bit of tension. Maybe more in the stadium, in the stands. When Kudus got his goal, and I think Arsenal got an equaliser or whatever, that they were a bit.
Really, I don't know why. As we said on the stats, we had 3 shots, 2 on target.
Yeah, and the
Scored one
Souček.
of them. Souček handball was so blatant, and he
Well,
celebrates it.
Did
like,
he looks after. I mean, the thing is, it happened so quick. It was in front of us, but I was like 40 foot in the air. Was it deliberate or did it just hit him?
Yeah, no, it was so deliberate. It was
was it?
so
He
deliberate.
punched it in.
He did.
Yeah, Harry had the neck to celebrate.
Oh, yeah.
You could
okay.
see it was
He knew it was
semi-ironic, the celebrating.
Yeah.
Did you
'Cause
know
he's-
that a rumour went round the Emirates that it
Yeah.
was 2-2 at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sent ran by an Everton man.
I've
was
been
it?
there for that.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, because they asked me, like, what happened? Did West Ham, like, whatever? And I went, no, I ain't got a clue what you're talking about. We were nowhere near getting 2-2.
Yeah.
And they said, it went round the Emirates, it was 2-2.
That's right.
And I was like, well, some idiot then started that off.
Bloody social media.
So,
Right, before we go, John, I want to start with you. I want you, as we do usually on this last episode of the season, to thank our 8 listeners. So I'm going to start with you, John. If you want to throw in a thank you to David Moyes, I won't stop you.
I would like to say thank you 8 times to all of our 8 listeners and to everyone who still supports this pod. And thank you to our fellow presenters and guests and everyone who's helped us do it all these years. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the summer. See you next year for exciting new adventure.
Yeah. Season 14. Len, are you
Hello.
miserable? You want to actually thank somebody this season?
I thanked a lot of people on Friday. I see a lot of people there.
Oh, good.
Oh, slagging you off.
Yeah, well,
Didn't have a nice word to say about you or David
no,
Moyes.
that's right. Well, I don't care. I'm very thick-skinned.
Yeah.
How about our listeners, Len?
I'm talking about the listeners.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, no. Yes. Thank you for tolerating me. Let's be honest. I'm no fucking Timmy Mallet, let's be honest.
Oh,
But,
why? What's Timmy Mallet done? Is he a
Well,
TV
no,
sports presenter? Oh,
Oh, do you know what? He is a season ticket holder at Alan Devishire's team. That's just gone up there, Maidenhead. Did you know that? Big
I didn't
Maidenhead.
know that.
Great artist as well, Timmy Mallet. Yeah.
Okay. And last but not least, Shedman.
Yeah, I mean, it just whatever. How many there are out here, it just seems to grow and grow. And I don't know why. Frankly, I think if we're all honest,
Yeah, I don't know why.
it's a bit baffling. I suppose there's something here that makes people want to tune in. I suppose when you meet us, you find out that we are generally like this in real life, and even Sean is generally like that in real life. So I suppose that helps. Yeah, it's just. Even the other day, I got a text message from some bloke listens to the podcast, asking questions and whatever. So which is all. It's all. I think the amount of interaction I have with people that listen is quite humbling, really. So thank you, everyone. But thank you to Len, thank you to John, thank you to Sean, and thank you to George. Without
you know,
boys, there wouldn't be this. So, you know,
this is our 538th podcast since it started 13 years ago. 538th podcast.
Good God.
Good God. Go back and, if you haven't listened to them, go back and listen to the other
Some are lost, mate.
537. There's only about 2 lost, actually, John.
Is there?
Only 2 lost.
There you go.
Look, just had to...
go
Just
right back
podcast
to
gold.
episode 3, people, and then join the fight. Say no to the Olympic Stadium.
Yeah. Just
There's still a chance.
Just to add to Nigel's, look, we wouldn't be anything without you guys and girls listening. You've been loyal with us from the start. A lot of you have been listening, whether you're a new listener, an old listener, one of the 8. We appreciate it. We wouldn't do this without you listening, otherwise it would be an echo chamber. So, we don't do it for the money. We don't do it for the fame. We just do it because we have a good laugh, right? We just try and not take ourselves too seriously.
Any of it.
Or any of it too seriously, as you can see from our prep. But have a good summer. Enjoy the rest. And then, as normal, we might do an ad hoc podcast in the summer. We might not. Who knows? But we will definitely be back for the start of next season. And I'm sure all of us will be around. You never know. Even George might make an appearance next season. You never know. Until then, we have got one more episode for Question Time, which is coming next. Until then, it's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from John.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a good summer.
Goodbye from Len.
Cheerio.
And goodbye from Shedman.
Adios.
Bye.
Bobby Moore. More than just a podcast. Bobby Moore. More than just a podcast.